Hello students, welcome to All Force e-learning. This is session 76 and we are discussing methods of preparation of carbonyl compounds. In previous method we was learned that few methods of preparation of both aldehydes and ketones, particularly from calcium salts of carboxylic acid, dry distillation method and direct by distillation of carboxylic acid. In which way we are going to get formaldehyde and in which way you are getting other aldehydes and in which case you are getting symmetrical and unsymmetrical ketones. That all we learn in detail. Now let us continue methods of preparation of carbonyl compounds. Few more methods are there. In that first one, from gem dihalides, as we know, geminal dihalides means if same carbon attached to same atom attached to same carbon if attached to two halogen atoms like CH2Cl2. In this case, both chlorine atoms attached to same carbon here. Similarly, this is called methylene chloride and 1,1-dichloroethane. 1,1-dichloroethane. These are gem dihalides. Vicinal we learned that if both chlorine atom attached to two different carbon means adjacent carbon atom, that what we call vicinal dihalides. Now geminal dihalides upon hydrolysis in presence of aqueous alkali, aqueous NaOH or aqueous KOH, simply we can say aqueous alkali. So here substitution reaction takes place, SN2 mechanism, and Cl will be displaced by OH. Then we are getting H, C, OH, OH, here H like this. So no one carbon is going to bear two OH groups. It loses water molecule. You can say like this, HC double bond OH. No one carbon bears two OH groups. For that, adjacent carbon atom must and should possess electron withdrawing groups. In such a case, divoles, gem divole can be stabilized, otherwise unstable. So we can explain like this. Similarly, in case of ethylene chloride upon reaction with aqueous alkali, this one also SN reaction, SN2 mechanism, this one SN2 mechanism, Cl will be displaced by OH and we are getting product CH3, C double bond OH. That means ethylene chloride upon hydrolysis, base hydrolysis, we can say we are getting methylene chloride, formaldehyde, ethylene chloride, we are getting acetaldehyde. If both the halogen atoms attached to terminal carbon, in such a case, you are always getting aldehyde. I am repeating, if both the chlorine atoms or halogen atoms if attached to terminal means end carbon, then in such a case we are getting always aldehyde. There is no change in number of carbon atoms also. What number of carbon atom containing gem dihalide we are going to consider? The same number of carbon atom containing compound aldehyde or ketone we are getting. Now, if there are two halogen atoms attached to internal carbon, let us say 2,2-dichloropropane. In case of 2,2-dichloropropane upon reaction with aqueous KOH, here again SN2 mechanism, and instead of both Cl, we are getting two OH groups, and from that two OH groups, immediately loss of water, resultant we are getting product CH3, C double bond O, CH3. That means 2,2-dichloropropane we are getting acetone. If we consider 1,1-dichloropropane, in case of 1,1-dichloropropane upon aqueous base, upon reaction with aqueous base we are getting CH3, CH2, C double bond OH. See here the difference in between these two, it is very clear. Here in this case both the halogen atoms attached to first carbon, hence terminal carbon, hence you are getting aldehyde. Same number of 3 carbon containing dihaloalkane, you are getting 3 carbon containing aldehyde. So 1,1-dichloropropane you are getting propanaldehyde, 2,2-dichloropropane you are getting acetone or 2-propanone. Now regarding this method, first of all, this method is not suggestible. Why? Because we are preparing dihaloalkane from carbonyl compounds. We are preparing dihaloalkanes from carbonyl compounds. Means that method is very cheap method and very easier, and reverse method is very difficult and also costly. First of all, this one is not considerable, means this one is not suggestible method for preparing carbonyl compounds, because jump dihalides we are preparing from this one. Again, reverse preparation is not suggestible. Now, from alkenes we can prepare carbonyl compounds. One, from alkenes upon ozonolysis we are getting carbonyl compounds. Let us see. Ozonolysis, addition of ozone followed by breaking of bonds. Ozonolysis means breaking of bonds. Breaking of bonds takes place because of ozone. So here unsaturated compounds, previously we learned that ozonolysis method we can use to find out location of unsaturation, and location of unsaturation we can find by ozonolysis. For detection of unsaturation we can use Bayer's reagent or bromine water. Whether the given compound is saturated or unsaturated we came to know by using bromine water or Bayer's reagent, simply by changing the color. Whereas in case of ozonolysis you can find out where in between which two carbon atom unsaturation is there, that we came to know. So let us see. During ozonolysis means first addition of ozone followed by hydrolysis. So here during ozonolysis what happened? Addition of ozone and followed by hydrolysis. This hydrolysis there are two types: oxidative hydrolysis, reductive hydrolysis. In presence of any reducing agent, if we perform hydrolysis, then that what we call reductive hydrolysis. Whole method is called reductive ozonolysis. If we did not use any reducing agent, in such a case, the method what we call oxidative hydrolysis, and overall method is called oxidative ozonolysis or simply ozonolysis. Now, I used to consider here CH2 double bond CH2 means double bonded carbon do not possess any groups, means only hydrogens are there. In this case, ethylene upon addition of ozone we are getting ethylene ozonide. This one is ethylene ozonide. This ethylene ozonide upon hydrolysis, here during hydrolysis here OC bond is going to break down. Then we are getting HC double bond OH, CH2O, again HC double bond OH. And here one more oxygen is there. Because of hydrolysis, this oxygen is taken by water and it converts into hydrogen peroxide. I am repeating, addition of ozone, we are getting ozonide. Ethylene upon addition of ozone we are getting ozonide, ethylene ozonide. And this ethylene ozonide, ozonolysis in general takes place in nonpolar solvents like CH2, Cl2, CCl4 like that. And after formation of ethylene ozonide upon hydrolysis, as I mentioned that this hydrolysis whether performed in presence of reducing agent or in absence of reducing agent. Let us see in detail what happens when we are using reducing agent and what product we are going to get if we are not going to use any reducing agent. Let us see. So this one upon hydrolysis we are getting formaldehyde, and along with this formaldehyde we are getting hydrogen peroxide. And we know very well hydrogen peroxide is oxidizing agent, and this is aldehyde. The formed formaldehyde undergoes further oxidation, and the final product we are getting formic acid instead of aldehydes. Now, if we want to prepare aldehydes, then better to use here reducing agent. Means for preparation of aldehydes, we must and should use reductive ozonolysis. Means here reducing agent must. So that method what we call reductive ozonolysis. So for preparation of aldehydes, reductive ozonolysis must. If not, then the formed aldehyde further converts into carboxylic acid. Hence, here if we want to stop reaction after formation of aldehyde, we have to use reducing agent. So which reducing agent generally we are using? In presence of zinc or dimethyl sulfide. Zinc or dimethyl sulfide. What happens if we are a zinc? The same reaction is performed in presence of zinc. The zinc took the oxygen and converts into ZnO. So in presence of zinc, the reaction in presence of zinc or dimethyl sulfide, what happened here? We are getting only formaldehyde along with that zinc oxide, or if we are using dimethyl sulfide, we are getting dimethyl sulfoxide. This zinc oxide or dimethyl sulfoxide are not good oxidizing agents, just like hydrogen peroxide. That means here reaction will be stopped after formation of formaldehyde. There is no scope for further oxidation. So all these things happen in case of only aldehydes. So for suppose in this method, if we are using substituted carbon containing double bonds, means double bonds are located at substituted carbons. Mean in other words, double bonded carbon is attached to alkyl groups. In such a case, we are getting ketones. Now, if ketones are formed, whether you are using oxidative hydrolysis or reductive hydrolysis, that is not criteria. Even though you may or may not use that reducing agent, but ultimately after formation of ketone, reaction will be stopped. After formation of ketone, reaction will be stopped. Why? Because ketones for further oxidation, bond means bond energy, CC bond has to break, and for that we have to supply energy. And in absence of such energy, we are not expecting any oxidation. That's why in case of ketones or products, then the hydrolysis, whether it is oxidative or reductive, that do not happen. Only products after formation of ketone product, reaction will be stopped. But in case of aldehydes, they may undergo further oxidation. Let us continue. I am going to use one substituted alkene RCH double bond CH2. This one upon addition of ozone, we are getting ozonide, and this ozonide upon hydrolysis, let us say oxidative hydrolysis, what we are getting, and reductive hydrolysis, what we are getting. So in case of oxidative hydrolysis, I am not going to use any reducing agent like zinc or DMS, dimethyl sulfide. Here I am going to use zinc or dimethyl sulfide, but not sulfoxide. Here product is dimethyl sulfoxide, and zinc or DMS and water. Then what happened here? Hydrolysis means ozonolysis takes place, breaking of bonds, RC double bond OH, RC double bond OH, and HC double bond OH. CH2O means HC double bond OH. Here both are aldehydes. This one is aldehyde, this one is formaldehyde. And here what happened? Because of water takes the oxygen and converts into H2O2, and in presence of H2O2, which is oxidizing agent, formed aldehydes converts into carboxylic acid, and formaldehyde also further converts into carboxylic acid. But in presence of zinc and dimethyl sulfide, because of these are good reducing agent, this accepted oxygen converts into zinc oxide, and if DMS we are using, it converts into dimethyl sulfoxide, and the product what we are getting here, RC double bond OH and HC double bond OH. Means after formation of aldehydes, in presence of reducing agent, we are getting, after formation of aldehydes, here reaction will be stopped. There is no more further oxidation, because here along with this either zinc oxide or dimethyl sulfoxide, we are getting product. Now, if we are using RCH double bond CHR, so here one carbon consists substituent R, another double bond carbon do not have any substituent. The carbon which do not have any substituent, or the carbon which attach two hydrogens, that one gives formaldehyde, and the carbon which consists one alkyl group, that one gives general aldehyde. And here I am going to use both the double bond carbon atom attached to one alkyl group. In this case, which upon ozonolysis, we are getting RCH, CHR, and this one is ozonide, which upon hydrolysis, again this hydrolysis, again two types. Normally we are using water, and in presence of zinc or dimethyl sulfide and H2O. So product what we are getting here, first in both cases we are getting 2 moles of aldehyde, RC double bond OH, RC double bond OH. Here also 2 moles of RC double bond OH. But after formation of aldehyde, here hydrogen peroxide formed. In presence of hydrogen peroxide, we are getting RC double bond OH carboxylic acid. Whereas in this case, we are not getting any further reaction, because of zinc converts into zinc oxide or dimethyl sulfide converts into dimethyl sulfoxide. Now, I am going to consider one end is attached to two alkyl groups and other end attached to one alkyl group, say R dash. This one upon ozonolysis, RRCH. Here we are getting ozonide like this, CHR dash. This one undergoes hydrolysis. See, again, water only without using any reducing agent. And here I am using zinc or dimethyl sulfide and water. So here what happened here, bond breaking takes place and we are getting R C double bond O R, R C double bond O R, and this one is R dash C double bond O H, R dash C double bond O H here. And here also same R C double bond O R and R dash C double bond O H. Because of here we are using zinc and dimethyl sulfoxide, these took their oxygen and converts into zinc oxide and dimethyl sulfoxide, and there is no more further reaction here. Reaction will be stopped here. But in this case, when we are here, hydrogen peroxide is byproduct. That hydrogen peroxide acts as oxidizing agent. Now it can oxidize only aldehydes, but not ketones. That means ketones remains as such. These do not undergo further oxidation. Why? So for further oxidation, CC bond has to break, and for that high temperature required. If we are not going to provide that much energy, then ketones oxidation is not that much easy. That's why after formation of ketone, reaction will be stopped. And here what we are writing, R dash C double bond OH. This one undergoes oxidation and converts into carboxylic acid. Now, if we are using say R C double bond R dash, this one upon ozonolysis, whether in presence of reducing agent or in absence of reducing agent, that is not criteria here. In presence of reducing agent or in absence of reducing agent, that is not criteria, because here this carbon both valence is satisfied with two different alkyl groups. So because of alkyl substituted one, this one, here we are not getting any aldehydes. That's why there is no scope for further oxidation. Ultimately, you are getting products ketone. Then during ozonolysis, where double bond is there you break the double bond and keep double bond O. Then the final product what we are getting, R C double bond O R plus R dash C double bond O R dash. So if we are using two different alkyl groups here, corresponding to that alkyl group only ketone you are getting. Means simply here, whether it undergoes further oxidation, means in absence of reducing agent, whether it undergoes further oxidation or do not undergo further oxidation, that you came to know very easily. If formed products are aldehydes, then in absence of reducing agent, they easily oxidize and converts into carboxylic acid. If formed products are ketones further do not undergo any oxidation. Products what we are getting with ozone, means ozonolysis of alkene. Same product we are getting with Lamex reagent. Lamex reagent is sodium periodate, NaIO4. This NaIO4 also acts as similar to ozonolysis. Here RCH double bond CRH. This one upon oxidation by using NaIO4, then we are getting products aldehydes. Products. Means Lamex reagent functioning also similar to that one. And one more reagent, chromyl chloride, CrO2Cl2 in CH2Cl2. Chromyl chloride in methylene chloride also can oxidize carbon-carbon double bonds into carbonyl compounds, means aldehydes and ketones. Now, similarly from alkenes, hydroboration oxidation, already we learned, we know hydroboration oxidation, and for that I am going to consider RCH double bond CH2. This is the alkene. This one, hydroboration oxidation, first one we are going to use BH3THF. So in case of diborane, actually borane exists as dimer, then what we call it diborane, and in order to split into or in order to convert into monomer, we are using THF solvent, tetrahydrofuran solvent. Then B2H is converts into BH3 and HBHH like this. Because of here alkyl group is electron releasing group, it is plus I group. Obviously pi electrons are shifted towards next carbon, and this carbon acquires partial negative charge, partial positive charge. So towards which carbon gets partial negative charge? Towards that carbon boron preferably goes, because of boron basically electron deficient and it seeks more electron rich center. That's why boron comes to that carbon, negatively charged carbon, and obviously hydrogen comes here. And this reaction mechanism proceeds via formation of 4-membered cyclic transition state. Then we are getting RCH, CH2. Here carbon bond, new bond formation takes place, HH, and here carbon hydrogen bond formation takes place, and in between these two bond is going to break, and we are getting this product. Means towards one carbon hydrogen added, towards another carbon boron added, and here it is very clear, positive part of the addendum attached to more number of hydrogen containing carbon. That means this one follows Markovnikov addition. This one follows Markovnikov rule, and this addition what we call Markovnikov addition. And after formation means by repeating number of times this reaction means another 2 times we are getting RCH2, CH2. In case of first reaction, hydrogen displaced by alkyl group. Like that, remaining 2 hydrogens also going to replace by 2 alkyl groups. Then we are getting trialkyl borane. So far, addition of borane completed. Followed by oxidation. For oxidation, in general, we are using hydrogen peroxide and alkali. And hydrogen peroxide is weak base. Alkali abstracts proton and leaves HOO minus and H2O. Now, since it is electron rich, it will goes to alkyl borane, trialkyl borane. I used to consider RCH2CH2 boron. Remaining 2 valencies I am going to mention like this. And here OO minus OH has to come and donate electron pair to vacant orbital of boron. The resultant we are getting RCH2CH2 boron. Remaining 2 valencies OOH. As we know that peroxy bond is highly unstable, and here OH minus leave away. OH minus comes out. Whenever OH minus comes out here, electron deficient oxygen remains. So whenever electron deficient oxygen remains, migration of alkyl group from boron to oxygen. This is what we call the concerted mechanism. All bond breaking and making takes place at a time. All bond breaking and making takes place at a time. That means whenever OH comes out as OH minus, migration of alkyl group from boron to oxygen, resultant we are getting RCH2, here oxygen and boron with remaining 2 alkyl groups. So same thing happened another 2 times, and here you are getting around boron 3 oxygen atoms. This one upon hydrolysis we are getting alcohols as product, RCH2OH. These alcohols upon oxidation by using PCC, we are getting aldehydes. Here since alcohols are primary alcohols, you are getting product primary alcohols upon oxidation with PCC. Regarding PCC, we was discussed in a previous session. PCC is a mild oxidizing agent. Being mild oxidizing agent, it oxidizes primary alcohols into aldehydes only. Then we are getting only same number of carbon atom containing aldehyde. This one is regarding hydroboration oxidation method. Now methods of preparation of carbonyl compounds from alkynes. So in alkynes, first member ethine upon hydration. First method is hydration. As we know very well, alkenes and alkynes are less soluble in water. Because of their dipolar nature is very less, and we can say non-polar simply. Being non-polar compounds they are insoluble in water, but we can make it soluble in water simply by using catalyst acid. Here we are using Hg plus 2. So ethine upon reaction with HgSO4, that we are going to write as Hg plus 2. HgSO4, 1% HgSO4 and 40% dilute H2SO4. 1% HgSO4 and 40% dilute H2SO4. Here we are using these reagents, but overall hydration only takes place. Hydration is nothing but addition of water. Here addition of water towards one carbon H plus and towards another carbon OH minus. Resultant we are getting CH2 double bond CH OH. This one is nothing but enol. It undergoes tautomerization. We are getting acetaldehyde. 2 carbon containing alkyne we used to consider, and final product we are getting 2 carbon containing aldehyde. Means acetaldehyde we prepared here. And as I mentioned here, generally alkynes are insoluble in water. If we did not use Hg plus 2, what is the role of Hg plus 2? It is only catalyst. So it makes that triple bond as a polar, and by means first of all Hg plus attacks upon triple bond center, means electron rich center. After attacking upon electron rich center, it makes that that center is polar until unless Hg plus 2 attacks upon the triple bond center. Here this one do not convert as polar. This one still remains as non-polar. In such a case, water molecule cannot come and attack upon this one. And after Hg plus 2 come and forms 3-membered cyclic transit state like that, then water molecule approaches from rear side. Water molecule approaches from rear side, and we are getting product enol. Now, is there any possibility or feasibility for formation of formaldehyde, for preparation of formaldehyde? So if you want to prepare formaldehyde in this method, then obviously you need to consider 1 carbon containing alkyne. Is it possible? So as 1 carbon containing alkyne is not possible here we cannot prepare one carbon containing alkyne does not exist. That's why we cannot prepare 1 carbon containing aldehyde also. That means formaldehyde we cannot prepare. From alkenes we can prepare formaldehyde. Means from ethylene upon ozonolysis you are getting formaldehyde. But from ethine you are not getting any formaldehyde. Means 1 carbon containing aldehyde you are not supposed to get. Now I am going to consider RC triple bond CH. RC triple bond CH. Here one triple bond carbon is attached to alkyl group, another triple bond carbon attached to hydrogen. This one upon Hg plus 2 means addition of water by using dilute sulfuric acid. Again, this alkyl group is plus I group, pi electrons are shifted towards this carbon, hence water molecule has to come and attack upon this carbon. The resultant we are getting RCOH double bond CH2. So H plus come and attach to this carbon and OH attached to this carbon. Again Marconi coefficient. And we are getting enol. This enol upon tautomerization we are getting CH3 RC1CH3 which is ketone. That means here you can prepare only ketone. And if we are going to consider RC triple bond R dash, now in that case Hg plus 2 and dilute H2SO4, Here what happened? Either of these 2 carbon attached to OH, obviously other carbon attached to hydrogen. Then what we are getting RCOH double bond CHR dash. Let us assume this product formed. And this one upon enolization, what we are getting here? Tautomerization RC double bond OCH2 R dash. So again we are getting ketone. That means in this method it is very clear. First, as we discussed, we cannot prepare formaldehyde. Second one, you can prepare acetaldehyde only from ethine. You can prepare acetaldehyde. Except from ethine, after that any alkyne you may use. Any means whether it is a terminal alkyne or internal alkyne. This one what we call it terminal alkyne. So here triple bond, carbon triple bond attached to one end. So that what we call terminal. And this one is internal alkyne. Whether you are using terminal alkyne or internal alkyne, ultimately you are getting ketones only product. That means here we can say except acetaldehyde, no other aldehyde we can prepare in this method. No other aldehydes we can prepare in this method. Only acetaldehyde we can prepare. So overall in this method we can prepare only acetaldehyde, but we cannot prepare any other aldehyde. And we can prepare ketones from 3 carbon atom onwards. Any number of carbon containing ketone we can prepare. I am going to consider one compound. See here, CH3, C, triple bond C, CH2, NO2. Here, this one upon hydration. This one upon hydration. Addition of water. So addition of water by using Hg plus 2 and H plus. Here, towards which carbon water molecule has to come and attach. This one is plus I group and this one is minus I group. Because of it is strong electron pulling group, these electrons are shifted towards this carbon. Hence, water molecule has to come and attack upon this carbon. Resultant we are getting CH3COH, double bond C, H, CH2NO2. And this one upon tautomerization, we are getting CH3, C double bond O, CH2NO2. That means until unless some electronic effects influence here, when both the alkyl groups are same, then you are getting only one product. But when both are not same, you are getting this product as major product. This product as major product means here NO2 group governs which product has to be formed. And if both the alkyl groups are same, you are getting only one product. And there is possibility for minor product and one more minor product here, CH3, CH2 double bond, COH and CH2NO2. Of course, this one upon tautomerization, we are getting CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH2NO2. This one is a minor product